What's up, y'all? It's your boy Aniki coming at you with the Church of MHA season 4 episode. What are we on? 9. Haven't been as many chapters this year, and I missed one, I'm pretty sure. But welcome one, welcome all. Church of MHA is live. Let's see. All right, let me get this posted in the Discord. You already know how we do. Make sure everybody's aware that we live. That matters. J. Michael Holmes is here right out the gate. That means it's a good chapter. I know that anytime somebody just instantly pops in, I know y'all excited to be here, and I'm excited to have you. So let's get this on and popping in this jamboree. Hey, all right, no more Mary J. Blige. We don't need no haters. Okay. Let me stop before I get hit with a copyright strike. At everyone, y'all already know what we do. We summon the Avengers every time. Oh, well, I don't need that. I'm not trying to do that. All right. Let's see. MK the baby. I can't believe you done this. I am here. What's up? Jalen Baxley, AC. Tiger Blaster. Definitely a hell of a chapter. I'm getting emotional. So, one thing that I can tell you guys is that I was told that this is a Church of MHAW chapter. Um, Hopefully, it's not too big of a W because I was actually working on a video this past week, and I would hate to find, even though I have to redo it because I recorded a part and like completely switched train of thought mid sentence. It was crazy. I was like, there's no saving that. Um, the editing would be way too much. But if it's too big of a W, I'll probably just end up showing you guys I'll just like randomly do a video where I have like clips of excerpts of it from it. Uh let's see. To me, I've heard about this chapter. It spells some neat developments for the Quimmeche world, especially for the quirkless. Well, I mean, we had jets that had lasers attached to them, so I mean, technology has been on a move for a while. So I would like to believe that like obviously outside of the like star and stripe level quirks, we've been moving towards quirkless people having kind of ridiculous weapons and stuff to kind of keep up. Which how you feel about that is how you feel about that. I mean, ultimately, it's going to come down to the execution of the principle, just because it's going to because at the end of the day, the quirks we're moving towards kind of smack, right? Like they're kind of OD. So we don't want to assume that people are going to be able to scale up there like that because we get into some interesting territories here. Tyler said we have a lot to talk about. Tyler told me it was a big Church of MHAW this week, so part of me wants to just like hop. Yeah, I'm just hopping right into the chapter. I'm not even gonna wait. If you come after the chapter discussion's already started, that just means you get to hear more discussion. All right. All right. Let's see. Boxes 17 through 32 have reactivated, and All for One is now passing by Edo City. All right, so man is just traveling. Is there anyone left who can fight? We're putting out calls to all sectors, but everyone's on their last legs. What is it now? From bad to worse. The heat. Gunga, Dabi's heat. What about his heat? Speak clearly. Is Endeavor dead? No, not yet, but he will be. Our analysis is conclusive. Ever since Dabi got knocked out the first time, he's been building it up inside. He hasn't stopped condensing that thermal energy within at the current pace in around 10 minutes or so, or maybe even just a few minutes, he'll annihilate himself. And when that condensed thermal energy is released, it'll trigger a massive high pressure explosion that'll burn everything off the map within 5 kilometers. All right, so Dobby's the bomb. Sorry. Uh, but it is worth noting now that he's so thoroughly kind of figured out Soto's technique that he's out here condensing flames inside himself while doing a bunch of other stuff outside of his body, really showing a high like skill floor of his quirk, even though one of the things that was kind of highlighted is that, oh, his like hell spider isn't as thin, all this other stuff. It's just a bunch of big scale attacks, but no, he's got that finesse going. He's got two things happening at once. Let's see. So we got Tsukauchi just looking fumbled, just shaking. Yue in the east, Shiketsu in the west. The route between them passing near Gunga in the Kiniki region. Ooh. So Endeavor headed in one direction, and it looks like Dabi wanted them to go that way. That's rough. Did Dabi somehow plan it this way on purpose? No. How could he know? But what this also does is open up the door for the Todoroki family to get involved. Wait, what if at that time Skeptic provided him with that key detail? Reach out to them. There's no time to lose, because now the Todoroki family wants to get involved. We know that multiple of them have frost quirks, even though it should still create that thermal explosion. Maybe they can help create a bunch of ice or try to cool them down, but it doesn't make sense. Within that blast zone, we still have an evac box that stopped moving. Yep, and then immediately we get focus on the Toto fam, as I mentioned. His dad joke. Oh yeah. Hello, Mr. Andrew and the Madman. What's up? Keep going. For real. And make sure y'all let me know if I'm bouncing back in between the chat and the chapter, just to make sure that if Viz does that thing where I miss a page because it randomly just doesn't load it, y'all got me. For real. Even this far underground. Open the emergency hatches. Everyone get to the surface. What? Tsukauchi, sir. Awful One has sped up even more. We estimate he'll soon be in range to use his gloop warp. Once that pair of demon lords are united, they'll be unstoppable. Man, it is rocketing. Are there any reinforcements? None, sir. Nobody's exactly fit to fight, and no heroes can possibly make it in time. Listen, Tsukauchi. Oh, okay. I don't know who's addressing him, but you know what? So, my personal guess is that there's a small chance we're finally getting the payoff, but I'm gonna wait and see, because I feel like when people said it was a big W, I kind of feel like I know what it is now, but we'll see. You're still feeling the blowback from your phosphor, Todoroki. And Shoto's like, I said, I'm fine. They're saying All for One will reach Midoriya, but I'm still on my feet. Ida, the thoughts of your brother must weigh heavily on you. I must do whatever I can. And then we get that flashback to Shoto. You want to kill me, right? I could only imagine the feeling that drove you to stand against him like that. The suffering you've borne. You, the kind soul who told me, never forget who I want to become. Why is this your emotional burden to bear? There, I got through. You two boys, you're still with us, right? All Might? Every moment counts, so I'll make this quick. You need to run over to Gunga right now. Dabi's on the verge of exploding. Installed an evacuation block in the blast radius. Endeavor's keeping an eye on Dabi right now, but his quirk can't do a thing to stop the explosion. Ida, kid, you know how to run, right? Okay, so All Might is covered in rain, which means All Might is outside. I wish I had more time in my days, because if this chapter goes where I think it's about to go, there's probably at least an hour of Church of MHA content with me predicting this. It's probably at least an hour of me talking about how this is going to go down this way. But I don't have the time to go through all my past podcasts and pull every single one since, like, what, chapter 311, 312, when we got introduced to the suitcase. We'll see. We'll see. And Todoroki kid, the body and mind are two halves of the whole. You know that better than anyone, with the inner turmoil you've carried. All Might, All for One, fear not, you've still got a mighty ally waiting in the wings, battling on won't bring you victory if you carry doubts. But I've got the utmost respect for you youngsters full of doubt, who nonetheless honor whatever it is that drives them. Put a stop to Toya. Make everyone feel safe again so you can be your best self. Now, if anyone can do a darn thing about the impending crisis at Gunga, it'd be a dynamic duo with engine and half hot and half cold. You're their only hope, and you've got this. He wants you to run, but Ida, your engine's stalled out. Does he realize how far it is to Gunga? All right, we see Ida taking the mask off and putting it on Shoto. The rain has done wonders for my engine's heat. Yes, I can run. After all, I can do it because, after all, Todoroki, my legs are meant to guide wayward children. And then we see Stain watching it happen as he throws Shoto on his back for the most epic piggyback drawing I've ever seen. Acting for the sake of others. Hang on tight. Maximum speed. Woo-wee. Not this man just... So, one of the things that I had been wondering about, and I think we talked about this a while ago. I think we talked about this. Hey, Jason Thomas and Thomas Washington. We talked about was that Ida realistically has done some extra, let me pull out this, let me pull this engine out my leg training since PLW. We didn't know for sure, but this looks like Ida that has done some extra training since then. This looks like Ida has pulled them little exhaust out and done it again. According to Hawk's account of the battle against Offer One, the de-aging process has boosted his power while leaving him unable to suppress negative emotions. Tsukauchi yelling, "Don't be crazy," as Ida is fucking madman jumping, and a canonical sonic boom just to make sure y'all know he with it as he jumps across building to building. This is how it has to be, Tsukauchi. After all, this was always my fight. And we see All Might with the suitcase. You must remember the endless warring is what got us here. And now I hear that Tomura Shigaraki's hatred is even affecting your original body. So I'm thinking, you won't be able to ignore me. Isn't that right? No, stop, Tsukauchi yells. You're quirkless. Can someone without a quirk be a hero like you? Chapter number 386. I am here. And we see, as I predicted for over 50 chapters. And 50 chapters. What? Get wrecked, you damn nerds. I am here, and All Might has done what I've spoken. It has been unleashed into the world. No. Let me get the church in here real quick. Let me get the bishops on hand. Man, we got a Bishop 30, just popped a Bishop 30. Man, get my people in here. Let me stop. Y'all got me fucked up. You think I ain't gonna fucking relish this damn moment? Oh no. They had to do it to you. Why they do it like that? Why Hori the man? Got it a plan. Yeah. Hori the man gonna go. It's Iron Mike. We've been also, you know what? Hold up. Let me see if when it loads up, I'm gonna show y'all something. Let me see if I can get my edited app to pull up real quick, because I'm gonna show y'all some shit. It's not just the suitcase, it's also the car. Oh, you're right. It is like Kit kind of expanding. Little pieces of it popping out of the back. Man, that look off of one's face. This is even better than him dying to extras. See, the second we offer one wasn't. The only way it's a controversial chapter is if you ain't been paying a fucking attention. If this is controversial, you're on Fraud Watch as a manga analyst. And I'm so serious. If you call yourself an MHA analyst and this shit is controversial to you, Fraud Watch. You should be on everybody's Fraud Watch list. Because I've been talking about this shit since Deku Black. I've been talking about this shit since Deku Black. So if you haven't caught this, and I've been talking about this since like chapter 310, fraud. Let's see, but for real, AFOs, all my smiles and AFO smiles are something else, especially AFOs, because look how much anger and pettiness. No, the resentment is beautiful, because this is one of those things that, look, AFO is sitting here, oh, I don't care about you, I'm done, blah, blah, I don't really feel no types of ways about you. First off, everybody was using the, oh no, he's hot meme when Awful One's face got revealed. All Might beat that face that used to let him pull bitches by the gallon off of him. He destroyed his lining, made his ears smaller than mine. The things that All Might did to this man. And you want him to pretend like you want to sit here and pretend like he ain't mad about it? You want him to sit here and pretend like he ain't mad about it? No, fuck that. You a lying ass motherfucker. Now I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so explicit. I just have to tell the truth. And telling the truth is, I don't know what the rest of that thing is that Kanye be saying, because I don't pay attention to him like that. But, bro, like, man, listen. Let me get this link over to my boy Joseph Shola. Chapter 339, page 6. You said this thing mentioned by May would be important. The lack of condenium, yes, sir. Almost guarantee that's what you're referencing. Almost guarantee that's what you're referencing, Tyler. Because I've been saying that shit for a minute. I've been saying, you know, we didn't have that condenium. They brought it up, and it wasn't there for a decoration. But like, let me show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all something real nice. Because y'all gonna be sitting here like, damn, Anarchy was not playing. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. For the first time in a long time, we're gonna enable the screen share feature. Let me show y'all something. Let me see. Select the window that I want to share. Let me see. All right, y'all. I gotta see when this is actually loaded in. But all right, look. So right now, let's see. It should say I'm sharing my screen. Perfect. So I want y'all to look at this media piece. So I started recording this video last week. I was like, let me try to get this done. Then I found out that I said something that was a little off. Ignore the Zoro stuff in there that just randomly auto-loaded. But I want you to look at this because hold on. Oh, look. I was doing a video where I was going to upload the All Might, the Iron Man armor sequence with the suitcase. Isn't that crazy? Oh, their bodies simply moved before they could even think. Was working on a video with that, which was talking about how All Might, because the premise of this video And part of why, because like, it's about the death of All Might, so I'm probably gonna do a chapter review and take some of this information and like shove it in there if I don't have time, or if it ends up being too dispersed, because I know some of y'all end up having to leave and come back, so that way you get a compact thing, come figure my thoughts on this. But there was a whole sequence where I was talking about how people's bodies move without them planning to, and how All Might just sitting on the sidelines and being a strategist is not who he is. Like, what was that Tyler mentioned? With that level of damage, I need to remake them basically from scratch, and we lack the condennium for the compression mechanism. You know how glorious it is to be able to just pull this up while I'm sharing my screen with y'all today? This is crazy. Like, you think All Might wants to sit there and tell niggas what was happening? No. Look at this. My spirit is what makes me the symbol of peace. My body can wither. You might expose me. Like, it don't matter that you may be not like show the world. Look at this. Does this look like the face of a man that wanted to be on the bench? That's like asking Jordan to sit on the bench. That's like telling LeBron, yeah, you on the team, but you third string. That's not happening. They gonna sit there. Look, this man, 40 years. 40 years this man was putting the grind on. And I want you to think about this for a second. You think a man could go 40 years of his life whooping niggas' asses for the greater good, and then just be like, well, I'm 58 and the world is a dog shit pile of mess, and I'ma just be okay with that. Like, no, that's not how that shit work, dude. That's not how that shit work. People don't just happily like let that happen. That's not how that works. Man, y'all don't understand, bro. But yeah,
I got you.
Let me stop sharing this, because that now it don't matter. But I just had to show y'all that I was cooking a video on this topic. So see,
can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm just making sure. And I did see something on Twitter. I think in chapter 327, All Might even said something about wanting to like crawl through mud to fight with them. So I don't know how people did not see this coming, or saying that this is out of character for him, which I have seen people say, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Hold on, they're saying this out of character for All Might?
Yeah, they're saying it was out of character.
Oh, hell no.
And stupid things like, what was the point of Camino? Where
these niggas can't read. Tunisia, I need you to, everybody in the chat, if you weren't paying attention, I want you to read what Tunisia said. She said, I was like, this is where you're choosing to fulfill Sir Night Eye's prediction. Because this works two ways, right? One of the big things that I talked about multiple times, and what I kind of mentioned in that video, is that when Night Eye saw the future, he said, you're going to die to a terrible villain. And I said it wouldn't make sense for him to say that about All for One, because he knew what All for One looked like for the time that they, did that mission, saw him or whatever. He realistically would have known what All for One looked like. But
didn't know what he looked like as a teen.
Exactly. Doesn't know what he looks like as a youth, and didn't know what Shigaraki looked like, which means Shigaraki could kill All Might, and this young version of All for One could kill All Might. Either one of these are acceptable, and it still makes Night Eye's vision correct. And for people to say, like, oh, well, what was the point of Eri? Eri was an anomaly who broke the space-time continuum. Stop. Nobody is her. She's her. She's Hermione. Like, nobody is pulling what Eri's doing. Like I said, like, if I don't care who it is, I don't care if they got 500,000 subscribers. If somebody puts out an MHA YouTube video saying that this shit does not make sense, you need to unsubscribe because they're a fucking fraud. Man. And man, that may sound harsh, but it is what it is. If somebody says something on the subreddit and you've been respecting their opinions on MHA, they might have been right a dozen times before. But if this don't make sense to them, fraud watch. Man.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I am really excited to see where this goes. Like, I mean, it doesn't. They don't have it on the app or anything, but the Horikoshi's author comment was how much he loves the Mark V.
Oh. See, look at him, just making it even easier. Man. I've just been waiting for this since we saw that damn suitcase and him just managed to pull out like and just show up randomly like nothing happened. And his car was fine. We should have known something was up when his car was perfectly fine too.
Yep, Hercules survived the bomb, and then he like jumped out of the way, making sure he grabbed that briefcase first.
Oh, all right. Super chat coming through. AFO is gonna want to kill All Might in front of Deku. What if he TPs to them, but Shiggy saves him by killing AFO, then kills All Might himself? Look, I'm a big fan of Shigaraki catching both bodies. All for one, because at the end of the day, they just don't know shit. Like, just all for one is way too cocky, overestimated himself, and has no idea that his main vestige or his personality trait got his ass waxed inside the vestige world. Over up in there. And then as far as All Might goes, Shigaraki deserves to get that kill. Okay. The only way people like, and people saying, the only way I could, I'm gonna try to get into the mindset of somebody who can't read so that I can understand where they're coming from. I'm gonna try to do my best. I'm gonna try to think like a person who can't read. So
there are names I could say, but I'm gonna withhold.
I think what happened is that some people were like, Aizawa told him, like, hey, it's okay that you're depressed. You got to go through it. It's hard to deal with, but like, you can still help people by staying alive. And they took that as Aizawa's comment and All Might pondering on it being All Might fully internalizing what he said and deciding to live by it. But I'm going to put this as nicely as possible. That's kind of fucking dumb. Oh, damn. I said I was going to be nice about it. That just came out. Let me walk it back. That's not a very intelligent takeaway from that situation. And the reason why I say that is because any notion you could have had about All Might being comfortable being out of the game in these circumstances should have gone away during the Deku Black arc when he insisted on following Midoriya around through the war zone. Like, think about this for a second. Deku was like out here, oh shit, don't stab me. Pow! And All Might's right there behind the building, like, good job, young Midoriya. Beat his ass, young Midoriya. Get the shoot the J. Like, come on. You telling me the All Might that chose to be in the streets after the war? Like after the war? It doesn't. No, he's just gonna sit there and be on the voice comms after multiple chapters cutting back and then making it a point to even give us a couple like wider shots where we see All Might was posted right next to Sukuchi when he gave the news that fucking Shoto beat Dabi, which was false. Fat L, oh well. They and to answer your question about how they passed their English classes or literature classes, they just said the opinion the teacher wanted to hear. What happened was they watched that shit happen. Like All Might saw that shit happen and left. And you want to know when he left? When he saw Bakugo get a fucking hole punched in him. That was it. He saw that shit happen and was like, nope. And you know what, that makes sense. Oh, 326? Isn't that when he was talking to Stain out there in the streets?
Yeah, actually, I think that's a good point, because like even after Deku was brought back to UA, he was still hanging around outside. I mean, I know most of it was because he didn't feel like he could face him yet, but that talk with Stain like really motivated him to even more than he already was by going out there with Deku.
Right. Like, Stain was like, it's your spirit that makes you a hero. And that's why I pulled up that one video, like that image. Let me see. I'll pull it up again real quick just because I have it sitting right here. Let me see. One more time. Because saying, what's the point of Camino when this happened? Right here in Camino, you my body may wither. You might expose me to the world, but my spirit is what makes me the symbol of peace. You haven't stolen away one bit of that. This man was depressed, not because All For One was making moves. He was depressed because he could no longer make moves physically. But guess what? He got an armor. And I can take it a step further if you really want to. Because when Deku goes to Meihatsume to upgrade his shit, she shows him, and he wants to, this is when he first goes to get the Iron Souls. Boom. What do we get? Him being stuck in a suit of armor that has automatic, features, which means if Mei is upgraded the AI, no longer does he have to worry about being turned into a pretzel, and he's got his own damn Jarvis, also known as Hercules. Because that's what he called the car. That's probably the whole suit. That was one of the tip-offs, more than likely. Called that shit Hercules.
Fits with the Greek theme naming as well, because got Tartarus, Gigantomachia is named after the War of the Giants, Gigantomachy, and then Hercules, Troy, a lot of. Actually, those before they devolved into just like clickbait videos. Plot Armor had a really good video about how it was like a retelling of Greek mythology. And they actually predicted that One for All would get stolen at one point to parallel the journey that Zeus had to go through to get his power back.
Oh, damn. I don't like that. Let me address Sixers. Small dono today. Hey, but it's appreciated. That's enough for my daughter. That's her allowance right there. Small dono today, but I'm glad Hori can do 17-page chapters again. I think he's starting to feel better. Definitely seems like he's getting a bit better rested, better breaks. But also just glad that, we got Golden Week, so that's an extra little bit of time off. Even though I know they do some work during Golden Week, it's a holiday week. He should get a little more rest. MK the Baby came through with that super sticker. I didn't miss that. So just good to see that happened. And Horikoshi, please take your time. Make sure you're getting to write the story you want to write. We got to stretch MHA into another 2 years because you got to take those breaks. I'm not holding it against you. I've been enjoying the third act. Fuck a naysayer because they can't read no way. So,
Watashi ga kita.
My boy Tarnish.
Yeah, you wanna know something funny? This arc is longer than PLW now. I think. Like it's either around the same length or longer now at this point.
Yeah, I think what Volk said on Twitter is like it's been going on for 14 months and PLW was about 15.
Let me see.
Yes, we're almost there, and this arc is nowhere near over.
It feels like it's just started.
I'm not even gonna measure it via time. What I'm gonna do is look at
chapters.
The first chapter is 267. Nope, that's not the first chapter. It's 257. That's what it was. Is when we started getting into that because that's the end of the. Yep, 257 is the day that the heroes vanish from the street. So effectively, 257 is the start, and then it's over. Depending on how you look at the transitional period, either at 296 or at effectively 305.
I consider 306 when the POW arc ends.
Okay. So yeah, from effectively 257 to 306. So that's basically like a 50 chapter arc. We are on chapter 386. Depending on how you view the traitor situation, determines whether or not this arc is already longer.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I think the trader stuff can be squeezed in just because Aizawa made the plan to jump the villains from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Demon Slayer, where like you see, I sometimes see the final arc get split in two, and there's like you can make an argument for doing that or consider it all one arc. I know there are some people that are anime only, so I'm trying not to say too much about that,
Yeah.
but like a case could be made for both, really.
Man. And
Yo,
Thomas is on his way.
honestly, yeah, I'm gonna keep it a stack. There's one thing that's really been on my mind since I read the leaks, and it's really not. First of all, Horikoshi really think he a funny nigga because he said I love the Mark V in the author's comment. Like, all right, bro. This man said, you know what? Everybody knows I got this from Iron Man. I'm gonna just confirm it.
He's not exactly subtle with his influences.
It was funny. So it was funny. So I'm gonna give him that. You know what I'm saying? And the All Might smile at the end of the chapter. Yo, we ain't never seen Skinny Might actually smile like All Might. I don't know if it's uncanny or epic.
I think the look on All For One's face is like legitimately frightening.
Yeah, that's what I really wanted to talk about. Like All For One's face at the end of the chapter, like that's the only time I've really seen this man like that. And I don't even blame him for looking like that right now. Because he just wasted so much time at Gunga dealing with all this hero bullshit. And how people get back up over and over again. And now he sees All Might doing the same thing with some tech, no less. Like, I don't even know what's really like. They said he's in range to use his ghoul quirk now, so I think he's about to teleport Shiggy and Deku here, if anything.
Well, hold on, let me reread this because I think he said they were like he'll be close enough to do it.
I mean, if anything, he could just now All Might's in range.
Yeah,
he could body All Might, fly over there, and then teleport All Might over there. Like, look what I did when I was coming over here, Izuku.
that's probably
like. So he might not kill him immediately. Like, finish the job.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be honest, All For One killing All Might don't sound right. Mm-hmm. Specifically because Night Eye would have said something like, "Nah, bro, like that's All For One." Because Night Eye has to know what Prime All For One look like, at least a little bit.
Yeah, but like we discussed it earlier, like he probably doesn't know what he looked like as a teen or very early 20s or whatever he's at right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he doesn't know what he looked like young, but like, I feel like he can put two and two together. So I'm like,
I'm still seeing Shiggy getting it.
Yeah, I still want it to be somebody other than All For One, just because that would be an inconsistency a little bit. Like, I mean, All For One, bro. And like the way All For One looks, it doesn't give bloodlusted. It gives like, how many times do I gotta teach you this lesson? Like, but on a different level. Like,
Is this the first time that we've seen All For One like really smile since he got his face back?
He smiled a few times, but it hasn't been like he hasn't done his regular like cheese like this.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. Because like usually he's got that grin, like that wide toothy smile, but like but he usually had like the scars or the face mask or the breathing mask.
This is that smile that Hawks was talking about when he was like, "Yo, he's always smiling."
Yeah.
This is that. Oh, I got. This is that. Oh, you should let me return Ragdoll's quirk smile.
Yeah.
And then we said that in Twitter, he's like, "Yo, I could give it back." He had that grin. This is that. Bro. This is that type of grin.
Oh, see, this is also why I understand hating All For One, like as a person, but hating his like the character, like bro.
Nah, yeah, I hate him as an individual. Like, he just pissed me off. But when he cooks in the story, I'll be like, finally, you cooking, bro. Like, is what I need.
Like,
This is why I put him on Frieza level. He's just a petty, vile asshole, and he just relishes in it.
and what I like about this is that you can still see the emphasis of the scar from when they fought. And this is actually the first time usually you just see the scar from the front, but this is kind of the first time you get to see like the full scope of it, right?
Oh, All Might. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Because like now you can see, because his shirt blows up, and Horikoshi doesn't do that on accident. Like, the man who is, I don't think he's put a single upskirt shot in the entire manga, actively putting this up shirt shot. He's letting you see, like, no, like the entire side, which if you remember that quirk that with the little mouth, that looks, so I'm guessing, when we saw Endeavor get hit with that on his right side, it was like, oh, he's got like a scar or attack that happened on this side that mirrors the one that All Might got. Getting it on this other side for All Might now, it's like confirming, like it's retroactively confirming that was like the same type of attack that like bit through his flesh and caused that same damage. All right, Solo Me coming through with the 22. My theory of how the suit works. We know All Might can still go in his muscle form, albeit for like 2 seconds. I think the suit is fitted with some sort of adrenaline from USA that extends his muscle time at the cost of his health. Okay.
That's a real interesting theory.
I can see that. So if the claustro armor that Redestro had specifically like stabbed him to cause him extra stress and pain so that he could overclock. So, which another reason why like Tokoyami beating Redestro doesn't completely like shit stomp Redestro, even though like now it's like, okay, yeah, like that makes sense. But like at the time, because Redestro also didn't use claustro, he was just using his like base power with the prosthetic legs. So there was multiple factors into that, but
he low-key had gravity against him too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, there was a lot going against Redestro in that situation.
Yeah, because I think wasn't Tokoyami, Dark Shadow
He had
like
the high
larger. So like there was like a leverage issue as well.
Yep.
Which might explain why the prosthetic legs broke, other than the fact that Detonarat's products seem to be not quite up to snuff.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm low-key wondering what that Stain cliffhanger was for at the end of last chapter. If this chapter he's just like looking on. Like, is he about to, like, it seemed like he had a green goblin glider. But
I'm curious to see what he's gonna do, because I think to a certain degree, this is also just like Stain is here to emphasize whose moment this is, I would say. Because yes, the threat is Shoto's problem, right? We're setting up why Shoto needs to get to that conflict. And let's be real here, there was something missing from the Shoto versus Dabi fight anyway, even besides the fact that like it was like 3 chapters long, all this other stuff. And you know what was missing?
Yo, what? Sorry, I just realized I had the chapter.
A plus ultra moment for Shoto.
He still has like that's the thing. Shoto, like, nobody wanted him to really be absent from Dabi and Endeavor's moment. It was just a sacrifice we were willing to make. Like, damn, like I guess Shoto's not gonna be here. But then Horikoshi, this chapter was like, nah, y'all, Ito was here for a reason this whole time. And he about to run him to Gunga.
Wait. I just remembered
just now. For real.
That's another church W, because I said that Ida's gonna help him get there.
Yo, this man All Might said, Ida, kid, you know how to run, right? And did not elaborate further. That just got a nice chuckle out of me.
I'm just glad Ida is actually getting to do something, because I'm tired of defending him. I'm tired of saying he'll do something. He'll run him across the fucking Japan. He's
about to run him like 200 kilometers, yo, and we don't give a fuck.
Bro,
let's face it, he triple jump.
Yeah, he fucking boosted out of there with like a single jump. I assume he could get over there like very flash timey.
This is Ida's flash moment. I've been waiting
Pretty
all
much.
I've been waiting all series for this because I have this one friend who always every time I say Ida is fast, he like likes to clown on me like, yeah, he's not faster than the Flash. I said, watch when he do something crazy.
I mean,
Watch
he's still not
watch
faster
when
than Flash, but
watch when he
You
do
know who
something.
is faster than the Flash? A certain person who joined the call.
oh,
John Wick.
It's
it's
John Wick.
about time.
I guess I'm back by popular
You done
demand.
kept waiting.
Damn, nigga, it's time you took your hand and started writing with some fucking fire. Took that nigga wings. Woo! Damn, the situation is dire. Yeah, niggas, I'm back. What's Gucci? Dang.
Man, East. All right. I just saw your message because I was too busy being like, yes, Eastwick is back.
East.
John East.
Look, you know what I saw somebody say that I'm like, yeah, we need that. Season 7 as a split core.
Oh, for sure.
Because like they went hard on the back end of season 6, but you can't do like nothing can be sacrificed here, right? Like,
You know what I want for the anime? I want at least the last season to be 13 episodes, so it's just like the first season.
Bookends.
Yeah, it bookends the season or the anime.
so you will. Okay. I mean, like I can see it because if we go 50 to 60 chapters for season 7, and then there's like another because let's see. Here,
I don't think they have enough content to adapt right now. That ass.
No, they do for a season 7, definitely do.
A whole season 7?
You gotta remember season 2 was only 50 chapters.
Ooh. And how many chapters this arc so far? We said earlier.
40 or something, right?
Yeah, it's already like 40. So
But this also includes the traitor, if you want to exclude that, and the Star Stripe, which would probably be 2 episodes.
because I think we finished off with 328. So I think they finished off at the end of a manga volume. Yep, 328.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. So
Yeah, bless you. What's up, everybody?
We got 2 returning goats. It's not
We
just
do.
not just John Wick.
Oh, bless you again.
thank you. 329 to almost 3. Yep, I was about to say you might want to adjust that, Watkins. Welcome back, Watkins. I'm gonna take care of my dog.
Walker's never lacking.
I mean, Aniki just left, so East, if you want to give your thoughts, might as well go off, King.
I got mad traffic out here. I'm walking.
Oh, you're walking like walking's here.
But foot right now. Yo, Thomas, you just got in here too.
I slept in and I just woke up.
Like I didn't. I was wilding last night, but that's neither here nor there.
Hello.
How's everyone anyway?
Hello. It's good.
Hello. Oh. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the peakest of peaks. One of the pillars that are holding us all together. We're here talking about MHA. I'm in the streets right now. People got to know about this chapter. Holy frick.
What do you mean by you're in the streets exactly? What do you mean by?
I'm in the streets right now. I'm just walking around, out of the gym, trying to get buff like All Might used to be. Nah, this streets got to learn. Streets got to know. Streets got to know. All Might back. Ida pulling out his moves. Let's go.
Yeah, what was y'all favorite moment from the chapter? Y'all two. We'll give it Eve. Off the top of the head.
Oh, damn, that's a really good question.
I ain't gonna lie, yo, because All Might coming back was heat. That was heat, but y'all know I'm a Dabi fan, so that.
Listen. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Aniki.
That nigga was that bitch. That was like, bro, the amount of fucking despair in these niggas' fucking heart. What nigga? Split it up. He was like, bro,
That
People
nigga
just
gonna
disagree
explode.
everything.
Yo, y'all niggas thought that it was gonna be Endeavor final explosion on his Vegeta shit. It was Dabi.
It was Dabi, yeah.
Thought it was gonna be Final Atonement. Psych. It's Final Revenge, nigga. Like,
I ain't gonna lie. That panel of him like bowing down or something next to his family. Because of course, yo, I remember that too. Some people were saying like, yo, it's kind of disappointing that like the Dabi stuff is gonna get resolved with only like Soto and Endeavor, not everybody else. This other Todorokis have been put there. Like Horikoshi found the way. It was the evacuation blocks. He put them at Gunga.
oh, the second we saw that they was in one of them blocks, it was like, shit, y'all gonna have a bad day. I can tell.
Yo, like last chapter, Natsuo was on some mom, sis, stay behind me. Like, nigga, what you finna do? Like, you better pull out that quirk finally before
It-
niggas.
Do we even know what?
So niggas can drop that quirkless theory.
Do we even know what Natsuo's quirk is?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, some people think he's quirkless, and that's why I never like ignored him even more. That would be kind of wild. But
I ain't gonna lie, that'd be funny as hell.
I was gonna say this. I was like, that'd be kind of hilarious. Like, not like in the. It would just be like funny from the standpoint of like, damn, this nigga was really like you are.
But like,
He
I
was
feel like
kinda
Rush,
like,
I would feel
bro.
like Rush Hour. I would feel like Rush Hour too. Like, damn,
Oh,
no wonder you mad.
you
Like
got another goat.
like the level of you ain't what I wanted. If that was the case, like,
it was,
bro.
it was
Welcome, Tyler.
Hey, Tyler.
Yo, what's going on?
my
You-
G.
You were correct. This is the West of W chapters we've had in a while.
Right.
This is wild out here.
No,
Yeah,
it's-
I want to talk about some bullshit real quick. Not really some bullshit, but like to me, it's some bullshit. Like,
what's up?
yo, so low key. I just want to ask this. Like, this is completely like off topic. Completely. Do y'all think All Might was an orphan?
Nah,
Yeah.
I didn't think he was an orphan. I
Yeah.
swear they mentioned his parents. were
I
orphans.
thought they said. I thought he said so in the manga at one point.
I could see it.
All we know is that he called Nana like a parent to him, like a mother to him. We don't
So,
know where his parents are.
My
or if they
personal
are dead.
stance is that being an orphan is so common in My Hero that it's not worth mentioning.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
So
Oh,
you imagine like we get this whole manga, right? And we get all these tragic backstories about like these parents and shit like that. You know, and we never like to this day, like we do not know All Might backstory for real. Like we know it in words. We haven't
You
seen-
you know what triggered me that one time? I forgot what chapter it was. My memory fuzzy right now.
it's
But I
probably
remember-
it's probably the same chapter where
Yeah, it was when he like we had got a glimpse of like him running out to do
Yes.
some shit when he and I was like, and it had dawned on me in that moment. I was like, wait, real talk, pre-Nana, we don't know what the fuck this nigga was like doing.
I like to believe that because Hori likes to add parallels to Deku, he probably has a mom and no father.
Nah, I ain't gonna
Nah,
lie.
let it be the flip. Let him have a father.
honestly doubt
Let
it.
him have a father. I'm not for that.
I
Please,
honestly,
we need
I
good
honestly
dads in
doubt
this
it
thing.
because I feel like one, he probably would have spoke about them by now, like, oh, when my folks died or something like that. He said Nana was like a mom to him, so I'm guessing he didn't have one. Like, maybe All Might had a single father. That would be lit. Single father vibes. Like,
But you know what? That'd be funny because that already dawns on Engie. Engie didn't mention his fucking mom at all, never. But his dad, he talked about that shit.
well,
Yo,
here's,
but
here's my
anyway,
thing. Here's my thing, right? Hold on.
I-
So the thing that's worth noting is that being an orphan almost has to be common in MHA. And you know what our best indicator of that is? Twice. Because if you look back at Twice's story, his parents died in a villain attack. And what was uncommon was him having no other relatives. Where like his whole family has been murked by villains at some point.
Yeah, because Coda had fucking like an auntie to go to.
yeah.
and shit.
So your
Like,
parents dying, that shit happens. Your parents dying and you not having an aunt and uncle and a cousin or nothing like that. That's the rare
Very
shit.
true.
But the reason why I brought all of this up, honestly, was just because, like, I'm looking at this page of quirkless Deku and quirkless All Might. Why was this nigga so big in middle school? Like, what was he doing, bro? Like,
Bro, he's corn fed.
You know what I be kind of
That's a corn
equating it.
fed brother.
You know what I
Nigga's
be
a JoJo.
All my-
character. What are you
All
talking
might
about?
watch all might watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and was just like, hey, I need to do that.
Nah, it's crazy because when I look at that nigga, I be thinking like there's some, I don't know about y'all, but for me, there was like this generational gap between like the kids 2 years ahead of us and then my grade. When I say those niggas were built like high schoolers in middle school, like they were big as fuck. Like everybody looked like they were going to high school. In my grade, a lot of us were like fucking smaller and dinkier built like that. Like it literally looked like 2 year difference at grade level. It literally looked like everybody was like All Might, and then my generation looked like Deku with them niggas.
bro, this literally has to be middle school All Might. He got the all black on, so I'm just like, yo, that's
He
crazy.
came out the womb 6'3".
It's the same outfit he wore when he met Nana.
No, and then we all know Brandino said that he could use one for all off rip. Like just off rip, he could use that shit. Like
You
what?
can see why. Nigga got Samoan blood in his.
Who are you? Who is
I mean,
that?
I'm
All for one.
Oh,
Also,
yo. Long story short. When you see a nigga who was built like this his whole life, of course he would be on some. I'm not sitting on the sidelines. Fuck that. I'm that nigga. I've been that nigga.
Bro, he literally just the definition. Like he's him. I'm that nigga.
Because
Like,
he's he.
Built different.
Nigga, so I want to still be that nigga, even if I'm dying. I don't care. I'm him, bro. Like
He's not just here. He is him.
that nigga said, yo, we didn't see his reaction to Prime All For One either. He's probably like, oh, you think you still in the game? Nigga, me too.
I'm still standing.
Like that. That's why he went to go fight him.
Nigga was chatting too. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, bro. He was like, it's not about beating him. It's like, hey, bro, listen, a nigga gotta do what a nigga gotta do, dead ass. Like I said, they link up, it's over with. A nigga gotta do what a nigga gotta do.
Wait, so I have a question for everyone here. So, because I don't know if you discussed it yet, but how do you feel about All Might having this quote unquote suit, this all for one buster? Because it's been a controversial topic over the past few days. I just want to know.
So Thomas, you already know where I am.
Yeah, I know you.
I've said the suit was coming. Like I was.
You've been heralding this.
I was here
ever since we saw the briefcase.
Yeah.
Like the briefcase pulled up, and I was like, looks a little sketch. I was like, why would he jump and be like, can't forget my paperwork? Like All Might's not some salary man, goofy nigga. Like, come on.
Hey, bro, listen. No matter what anybody say, we knew this shit was coming. All right. As much as niggas want to talk about, and fair enough, these days, like, all right, some stuff just popping up out the woodworks. But like I said, if we in the finale, what the fuck does it matter? You know what I'm saying? You might as well go balls to the wall and throw it everything to the wayside. But don't act like since the fucking damn near 306, like 30 or like 308, when we seen that nigga, he would want to walk around with that fucking briefcase and shit. Like we knew something was coming, and it's better. I feel it better this way to like, nigga, I got some type of way to like make a last stand and stand out there with my dick out, like also, my ass out for no reason.
Also, he told you it was going to happen at Hero Fest. He told you it was going to happen in the color page. You were warned.
I've seen a lot of people talk about how this like ruins All Might's like character arc. And
only if you a bitch, nigga.
Yeah, it's like, do you really see him
his character arc?
I don't know.
You would literally have to ignore everything
because people were,
they were like, in a vacuum.
Exactly, Tyler.
Man,
yo,
which is even more wild.
Nah. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Me and E's been talking about All Might doing some shit like this for mad long. Ever since 327, when he was talking to Deku and them saying one thing, but in his mind, you could even hear it in the last anime episode. He was like,
"Yeah, I will crawl through mud to fight with you."
It's even more crazy because 326, you see a brief panel calling back to his conversation with Aizawa. So it doesn't really ruin anything because he's still thinking about it. But at his core,
my thing is, how does it ruin a character when it actually falls in line with everything they've ever done?
Exactly. Because in a vacuum, that's the only way.
So this is one of those things that's funny is that like people will be like, you don't change a whole lot in a whole year. And I said this in that, like, I don't know if y'all saw the earlier part of the stream, but I pulled up the StreamYard, not the StreamYard. I don't know why I said that, but look.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And the video that I was working on,
He took it back to the case.
I highlighted something
Don't drop
really
those
important,
damn videos.
which is that All Might has spent 40 years whooping asses or trying to whoop ass. A couple years before having One for All, wishing he could whoop a nigga's ass. He spent the past 8 to 9 months thinking about how he can't whoop a nigga ass. Which of these is bigger? 40 years and 9 months. Like, come on. You really thought he was going to comfortably be able to sit there and be like, well, I retired last August.
People were bringing up.
Let me say
People
this
were
real
bringing up the fucking Izara talk, and they were saying, "Oh, that just ruins that talk. It doesn't ruin that talk.
No,
it doesn't ruin the Kamino moment. It doesn't ruin anything about All Might because deep down, this is All Might to a T." Remember when Bakugo and Shoto were fighting the Cider Gang, and he jumped to save that person, even though he could have died? All Might is a person who saves first, rather than thinks about himself.
Okay.
Bro, that's exactly why fucking Bakugo was like, listen, you can't leave those two buffoons together because them niggas don't know how to act.
Yeah.
Like, they not
Exactly.
the niggas that think logically. They gonna move.
I want you to think about
regardless
this for a second. Meddling where you don't necessarily have to is the essence of being a hero. There's a chance All Might doesn't have to go here. And he's going to do it anyway. Why?
Because he's a real hero.
It's my spirit, not my body or my quirk that defines me as a hero. How does that how does this contradict anything he said there? The only thing it contradicts is him telling Midoriya that he can't be a hero. And this is him learning from that. And this is him seeing the advancement of technology because he spent all this time fighting with just his body. And yes, and the other thing about this is that All Might directly stated a hero that is overly reliant on support tech is worthless.
Yes.
So this sets up the payoff for him having said that and then still going against his own words to step out into the field. But the thing is that he talked about it, like the armors that they made back in the day only could handle like 20 to 30% of his power. So he's acknowledging the growth. The Condenium red herring with Bakugo having it so that anybody who was paying attention will be like, oh, this is where that compression tech went. But then it's like, but wait, this is one person's stuff. They probably would have had more than that. It seems like a really nice tool to have for like everything. And then it's like, wow, don't you have any left? Well, shit was used on All Might. Some of that shit was used on All Might. And the idea that All Might would completely sit this one out after seeing All for One get back in the game, because if Kamino is ruined, then it was ruined the second All for One left Tartarus. And I guess some of you believe that. You're dumb. I mean, I don't agree with you, but
you may have a few screws loose.
Because
niggas are stupid. Call it like it is.
Yeah.
Because Kamino is about both of them being post-prime and both of them needing to accept that. Kamino does not say that they have to. In fact, what does All for One say? You think I'm out the game. When they're sitting in the prison, he's like, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you think I'm out, but I'm not out. I'll let you think that I'm stuck in here. So the second All for One got out of prison, All Might was like, no, I'm back in the streets. And we even see that with the way that he was right next to Deku all the time. And hell, I wouldn't be surprised if off screen, All Might actually did handle some thugs and we just didn't see that shit. Because he had to get some practice in with the armor anyway.
Yo, to be honest, when Deku was out in the streets, they were expecting All for One to pull up.
So what, you thought he was just out there like, yeah, let me just show up. Oh, I don't have a quirk anymore, but I'm here. Like, bro, All for One is gonna slap your ass.
He been had that suitcase. He had the suitcase since the Nagant fight, so he was ready. He was ready this whole time.
What I don't get is like, if you're gonna say this moment ruins All Might, right? His entire character arc. What would you have preferred? Him to stay with Sukarichi, just stuck there, just safe, doing nothing?
No, the crazy thing about
that's not All Might.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about All Might is that he really like he's such a dynamic character because he really could have been that Nick Fury, but he don't want to be. Like, he was doing a great Nick Fury this whole final arc so far from the beginning. Like, he was really with Sukarichi in the comms room, like really telling people what to do. And even this chapter where he was talking to Shoto and Ida, like he was giving them commands. Like he was like, "Yo, I need y'all to do this. I ain't gonna lie." Like he gave off that commander vibe, and I like that. But he wasn't fucking with it. It wasn't enough for him. You know what's crazy? The minute he like left, I think, because the last time we saw All Might before this chapter was in a tiny ass panel when Tsukuichi was talking.
And it was him heading out with that suitcase in his fucking hand.
Yeah, it was him grabbing the suitcase, being like, "Nah, fuck this shit, yo. Like, I'm out there."
And
that's the like, because we only saw his back, so I'm like, damn, like, couldn't nobody stop him from leaving? He was on some "I'm out" shit. Like, nah, I'm out.
And do you want to know the tying thread to this? Because I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna tell you why this validates Kamino. I'm gonna tell you why this validates the first chapter. Because what made him move? You ready for it? Bakugo! Bakugo being in danger and Deku trying to take action in chapter 1. All Might post his limits, post his prime hero operating hours. What does he do? He moves in to save Bakugo. Bakugo, All Might during Kamino, he knows he's not in his best health. What does he do? He moves in to save Bakugo. What is this?
No.
Strike number 3.
Look at you.
Look at my niece.
Nosy.
Look at my niece.
Nosy. My little baby.
One more. Sugarfoot, where your big? That's right. Your mama got a big head. My nerve. That's right. Your daddy a trooper. Your daddy a trooper. That's right. Your daddy the toughest soldier I know because your mama crazy. That right. All right, y'all. So Chad, y'all, I've been gone. Y'all got any questions y'all want to ask me?
How's your day?
It's straight.
I don't got a question I want to ask you, but I just want to say, yo, what you think gonna happen when Shoto pull up? Like, like
a family reunion.
Not only that, it's like because the Todorokis might be outside because they said that Ida's quirk has to be used to save Gunga too, so he might just be running people out of there. To be honest,
well, they already said they evacuating to the roof because Gunhead was like, "Well, fuck it, nigga, we got to go to the top."
Emergency exit.
Hold up. So I just remembered that in one of the early episodes of Justice League, there's actually a scene where Flash carries each individual person out the way from a bomb. So,
yeah, Ida's gonna do it. Like Ida has to have a role like that. It's an engine. So like he's not about to just be Makia from PLW carrying Shoto to where he got to be.
Wait, so like I have a question then. Sorry if because we know that the citizens are underneath Gunga, right? We have to make sure they get out of there before Horikoshi just goes, okay, Dabi, now explode. Straight up like the Class of Titans from Attack on Titan.
I was gonna ask too, do y'all think he's even going to explode? Because if Shoto gets there with phosphor, he could put out a little bit explosion.
He can dampen it, but I don't think he's stopping it.
So this is what I'm about to say, right? So Tarnish, you and Mello, and we talked to Coyote about it. I don't know how much I've been talking about on stream, but you remember how the Toga dynamic doesn't come from now. Hawks is gonna most likely live, right? But it comes in a dynamic that what comes from that is like, the Azula type beat or how I don't know if you said on stream or not. Did you or no?
Nah, I haven't been on stream since then.
Okay, so basically, like, I'm not gonna let you explain and I'll jump back off of that so they can have context.
Actually, hold up. You just said something East that I actually need to pick your brain on real quick.
Yeah.
So how'd you feel about what happened with Hawks?
Oh man, but listen.
The chat wants to know. I was wondering where you were.
But for those of y'all that don't know, I was busy that day, but really busy. But for those of y'all don't know, one of the reasons I ain't been on because Horikoshi ain't been in my good graces. All right. Me and him, we had some words exchanged. All right. I damn near threw that nigga off the roof because he got me fucked up. But at that point, he had started steadily climbing back into my good graces. I was like, oh, I really almost like threw him all the way back out the doghouse, but I was like, you know what, listen, you still got some work to do. But man, I was out there shaking my ass, boy. I was jumped out my damn house, man. I was in my drawers on my back porch throwing that shit back, boy. The sun was rising, but the full moon was outside. That's all I'm gonna say, boy. Man, quite fucking beautiful. But you know what I hate about that nigga the most? He just so fucking cool, and I can't stand it. I can't stand it. That nigga just so goddamn cool, and I
They are
do
the
not
last
like.
one standing, stabbing him right in his chest, like.
Nigga got the weak. Nigga got the. He was the most crippled from the start. Then he step out in the paint, and he's still being like this nigga, like talking like some wicked shit. Like, damn, sucks to be you. Your shit kind of fucking up. Stabbing niggas and shit. Protecting the fucking goat Tokiyama. Like, damn.
Yo, bro, you saw that other translation of that shit where there was like, he was talking about how the quirks don't really affect All For One, and he was like, "Yo, you make me sick" in the Spanish. I was like,
Yeah,
"Yo,
I went the you made me sick version. That shit was raw. And you see, that's what I'm saying. It's like, damn, I hate you. You fucking cool, nigga. You fucking cool. You feel me? Like,
especially the way he protected Tokoyami. That shit was badass.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo.
That was, listen, I think that's Hawks' best hero moment. Like, that was badass, nigga. When he was, I was not expecting him to stick it to All For One like this, yo. I like, at the beginning of the fight, I was like, okay, like, it's Endeavor versus All For One physically, and then Hawks versus All For One mentally. Like, it is, the mental aspect did not leave this fight the whole time till the very end. Like,
then it was Hawks and a few good heroes.
Yeah, I was see. This is what I needed and expected more other heroes doing this shit for the kids.
Also, y'all like the stream.
Yeah, like the stream.
Well, my baby, like the stream for my daughter.
Yeah, if y'all don't like the stream now, you just a heartless bastard. I'm gonna have to shoot you.
Yeah, if you don't like the stream, you just hate children. And,
yeah,
you don't want to feel that way, do you? You don't want to be labeled.
Listen, it's okay if you don't like. It's okay if you don't like kids.
I mean,
it's okay if you don't like
kids memes every now and then.
But you don't like Aniki child? No, that's fucked
nah,
up.
Nah.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Look yourself in the
middle. You can't use your daughter as bait to like the stream. That's just foul.
Oh, bro,
I mean, I'm gonna do it.
Like you're not liking the stream. You need to go in the bathroom, wherever you at, and look at the mirror and just like look at yourself and question what's wrong with your life.
Listen,
why am I such a failure? Like,
anyways, yo, the one thing that's kind of pissing me off, but not really, they really still acting like Shigaraki is All For One in the story, like calling him a demon lord and shit. I'm talking about if the two demon lords reunite, like he not called that. For real.
He like, bro, he'll be like, boy, it'd be funny as hell. He hopped on the mic, like, bro, I'm gonna tell that nigga one time and one time only, bro. That nigga gone.
Like,
Alves, yes. The One Piece chapter, I was like, that's my goat.
Man, Oda's really cooking again. It's been a while.
Oh, I was just talking about that captain
like
right hand combo, but hey, where's my pretty
Tarnish got the floor. Tarnish, go ahead and say about the thing so I can talk about Dabi.
Yeah, speak up.
Yeah, so what thing in particular? The Toga shit and Hawks?
Yeah, that. My fault. I thought you were about to say. You thought you were setting it up. Yeah, that.
Nah, pretty much. Like, so we all know that Toga and Hawks, they have to see each other at some point. Just because, like, Hawks has been running away from that whole Twice situation. Like, he ain't really thought about it the way he should have. He ain't spoke about it the way he should have. Tokoyami is bloodied and beaten. Which, there was a panel this chapter too of him just holding Tokoyami.
Yeah.
Because he pushed Tokoyami to this brink. Like, not really. Like, Tokoyami would have did it anyway. He made his choice, but Hawks knows that, like, damn, I put him in this situation. Like, he came up with me. He feels bad about it now. So even right now, it's kind of confirming my theory a little bit more. Like, we go and see a more human side, the Hawks, when Toga pulls up. Like, I feel like Toga might pull up on some, like, yo, I'm going to kill you, on some bloodthirsty shit. And Hawks is really just going to be like, you know what? I know why you're mad at me. Like, I killed your friend. And he don't got his wings no more. He can't really fight back. So he just going to be like, you know what? You could take me out the paint. You know what I'm saying?
And to add on to that is that the way it comes in is that it opens for some of the best dialogue and moments outside of action, because it's like, think about all the action movies you see about vengeance and violence and like revenge, right? When they get to that nigga that they set out to kill, they've ran through everybody, and when that person is on their last leg, they did that shit before they killed him. It's like, I got you here. I did everything I could. But with that, it's like with this situation, like she didn't really get to touch this nigga. She just gonna pull up on a crippled ass, like pathetic ass nigga. Like, so the fulfillment won't be the same when she gets to him, but like
That's the thing. Cause look, listen, when you want to fuck somebody up, you really want to get them at their best. But it's not hitting the same when you see somebody already bodied and it's like
Me personally, because Toga's whole shtick is love, right? What does it mean to love someone? The fact that she's gonna pull up on Hawks while he's cuddling Tokoyami, like he's holding him dearly. Like, let's be honest, Tokoyami means a lot to Hawks, even if he ignored him, even if he shadowed him, his messages, he still cares a lot about him. So she's gonna pull up on him holding Tokoyami, and it's gonna be conflicting for her. It's like, you took away someone I love.
Well, I'll take away so, and then there's like, and then the turmoil she's having with a lot of things too. And then like, what comes in this dialogue, why it's so fitting between these two, is that Toga's always been true to her fucking heart and self. And when her mask shattered a long time ago, when she tried to press, Hawks has been doing nothing but wearing a mask this entire time. Mm-hmm. Even when he became Keigo and shit like that, he was still trying to figure out. But even then, he don't show no like real true despair. You don't see this nigga down bad. You see him down bad physically, but even then, this nigga's always fighting and trooping through and shit like that. But he's not like some Engie shit. Like Engie's human.
The thing though, for real, like, he can't be Hawks no more. Like, his wings is gone. He really got no choice but to face who he really is right now. Like,
so, what you mean, Tanish? Like, Hawks did get his entire quirk stolen.
what I mean is, so for me, this is actually the best thing that could have happened to Hawks. Because losing his wings is also losing the last ties to the family that like betrayed him his whole life.
What do you have those wings for? Like, you know what I'm saying? And now they gone.
And he's gonna be just like, think about it. The wings are the reason he was recruited by the Hero Commission. So he doesn't have to deal with them anymore. And he's fine, like he's made plenty of money being a hero. He's gonna go on to be maybe like a hero course teacher or something like that, sure. But he's finally gonna have more time to do things. Like, he never really wanted to be a hero at his core. He wanted to be like a hero because that was what Endeavor was doing, and he wanted to help people like Endeavor did. He wanted to like help out and be useful, but he doesn't have to be risking his life to be useful. And I think that ultimately, with the Toga thing, this is also Hawks' chance to kind of redeem himself from that situation. And one, accept her like killing him if that's what it means to, if that's what it takes to keep Tokoyami safe. But if she chooses not to, it'll partially be because he's going to just straight up let her go free. He's going to stop anybody from trying to arrest her. He's just going to ask her not to hurt people anymore, and she's probably going to be able to do that. So that also creates a pathway for Toga to be saved.
I was thinking Ochako could come in too on that though, like, because she has to be involved. And Horikoshi said that Hawks and Ochako are going to be lights of hope. So I'm like, okay, like, we know Ochako wants to still help Toga. We know Toga still wants to kill Hawks, definitely. They're all in the same location. Hawks just lost his quirk, so he can no longer run from the situation. So everything just adds up to me. I'm just like, okay, like, these three characters are going to have a moment, you know, and it could go really either way.
But, and then that's what it comes like to interesting, because you see, this is the issue with this series, and as big as like, while it's also as big as strength, it's as big as weakness. It's a double-edged sword, so to speak, and that everything is gray. So like when you say Shigaraki, Deku saving Shigaraki, that's not black and white. That's not the typical saving, because now Shigaraki is Tenko. Shigaraki, like I said, Shigaraki is just a persona of his evil personified into like an archetype. I'm East, but I'm still the same nigga in real life. But it's just my passion for a particular series, amped up times 10. But you'll still catch the same nigga on the street in real life. Might not be as amped up, but I'm talking about a specific thing. It's just me personified. So it's just, Shigaraki is just his hatred that he already had personified. So in the case is like, okay, when you say saving, killing is another form of saving or salvation for his soul, because he'll always be tormented by the hatred he has type B, because you can't just talk that out of a nigga, right? So it's like, that's a great thing. You can't say black and white. It's like, what do you mean when you say this? So them talking out of it, you could have said that a while ago and then be like, change her heart, this shit whack. She's already done everything she's done. That's taking things back. but at this stage in it is gray. So it's like talking out of it's like, well, he's beaten, battered, and wounded. She won't get the same satisfaction of killing him when you get a nigga up. You like if I go into a fight, right? I'm trying to beat a nigga ass, like, oh, we about to fuck this nigga up. And then we get to the nigga, he already got his ass beat and weakened. It's like, nah, I wanted to beat your ass, nigga. Like, I wanted to get my hands on you. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I don't get the satisfaction the same way as like what I've been planning to do. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it just don't hit the same. So in this case, it's like,
Yeah,
it's kind of like it's like I said, it opens up for a fucking immaculate ass moment, and like how fucking Aniki was just saying about like kind of letting her go type being. It's like what? Because I always thought like somebody got to like kind of. I see one of the lead like moving on, like run away, like going into hiding like forever, like type beat.
Toga.
Yeah, and now what Aniki's saying what he did is
that's what I was alluding to when I was talking about the Azula type ending for her, with her kind of just like screaming and crying, like not being able to accept like everything.
Good morning.
Because she's having doubts too. She's like doubting
Hey,
her
Seth.
love for the league and shit like that. What's up, Seth?
Yo.
So I'm just like, you know what? Like Toga can end a lot of ways right now, but there's no way that it could end. There's no way it could be fully positive. You know what I'm saying? I would like it if there was. I would like it if he honestly like spun some tragedy in there again. Still,
because the tragedy would be to the extent to be like, well, Toga's kind of alone because I don't know what the hell happened. You still gotta think. We don't know what the fuck. A lot of people forgot. We still got Aizawa, Eraser. I mean, you still got Eraser, Mike, and fucking Shirokuma missing.
they could have Giddy.
We don't know where the fuck they went. Compressed still ain't come back yet, which was confirmed. And we don't know what they're gonna do with Spinner. So all these like locked in type things is like, okay, what do they do? Because Horikoshi said Compressed comes back, but at the same time, it Compressed. I always had a vision way back in the cut, right? A long time ago, I was like, it Compressed and Toga were like two to live on type beat, like run away, like hiding off, like they came to islands type beat, like how some niggas kind of do at the end of some of the movies. I'd be like, oh, you know, I can see that. Those two specifically.
Yeah, no, I on one hand it's like yes, but on the other hand I'm like, you know, I'm kind of on positivity mode right now because the chapter is just so ridiculously hype. Like
Even though this is the chapter that sets up All Might dying stuff.
Yes, it is so amazing. I don't know why I'm excited. This is so dumb.
You're really excited to see All Might just die on a live stream? That's crazy.
It's,
Yeah.
no,
Yes.
it's because it's him. He's him. I don't know. It's like, how can you? He can only make me smile. I don't. I'm just. I don't know what to. Honestly, this is gonna be a happy end. I have no idea how, but I am on happy end train here with everyone. It's gonna be great. I don't know what to say. I'm upset too because this is also the chapter where you have Hawks and Togoyami, you know, just dead. But like even then, I'm like I'm happy. This is so cool. Like this fight is just everything I didn't know I wanted to happen.
Let's be honest too. Like the chances, right, of seeing glimpses, if not like half a chapter of the past with All Might versus All for One, like them at their primes, them going at us, that's high.
Okay, wait, Thomas. I know
Yes.
what I want, and I know what I want the anime to do.
What you want?
I want them to bite Studio Piero's flow. I want them to do it. I want them to bite their flow, bar for bar. And I want them to do the Kakashi versus Obito.
Oh yes, please.
But with All Might versus All for One.
Please. That'd be
No,
so cool.
that'd be so
What?
sick. That would be
It's
so
hard
sick.
to make the current fight look good if you're comparing it to the older one. I mean, I don't see that happening, but that would be cool. But I
so
also don't
here's how
see
you would
that.
do it, Seth.
Can I
Ready
get
for it?
elaboration for someone not well versed in Naruto?
Okay, so one, I'm probably going to send you the fight later, just because
Okay.
even without
so cool
having watched it. But two, what you would do is kind of have like, it depends on what kind of gauntlets and like blasters All Might has.
Mhm.
Because if you've got, because we know that laser tech exists, so we've got arguments for him to actually be able to shoot lasers, maybe have like a buster gauntlet that lets him hit extra hard or something like that. And then the difference here would be instead of it finishing with All Might standing over him, or you'd be able to kind of have him throw some big energy blast, stuff like that. And then we know that All Might was like sitting there with his intestines strewn out as he was like knocking All for One. So we get like an attack where All for One like cuts into his side just like the old days, damaging him severely. And it would be like that over him shot, except this time instead of All Might getting like that final like blow in, it would just be him slowly passing out.
You know what I would love to see as well? Let's just say All Might and All for One right now clash fists, right? And the panel changes to back in Kamino when their fists collided, and it created like that little spiral of like warping, and then it swaps another panel to the past, and it goes back and forth.
Oh, I would love that.
It'd be so cool, especially in anime. Like,
yo, what is up?
hey,
All Might once again showing us who the fucking man is. Oh my god.
And
this was the most All Might chapter there's ever been. Even the Camino stuff. This is everything that's great about him condensed in a single chapter. And I know that, you know, a lot of people said like you know, Endeavor's the favorite character, and Endeavor has a very different storyline, but man, All Might is still such a great character. And we're getting to see that again. Oh wow. Hello everybody. Hi.
Hi, Bo.
What's good, bunny?
Hey. So wow, there's a lot to dissect in this chapter. Like, I mean, some chapters are like kind of action based or whatnot. This was a very, very dense chapter. There's a lot to unpack in this one. I think first and foremost, we just have to talk about the All Might stuff. I've seen a lot of people say that, like, oh, well, All Might is kind of going back on, you know, accepting that this is the next generation's fight. It's like, that's not really the message of the series. It's that the older generation have a continuing responsibility to prepare and keep the next generation safe so that they can take on the mantle and pass it forward to their own future generations. And that's still what All Might is doing here. And another thing, people say it's like, oh, this is gonna validate Deku Quirkless takes and whatnot. If anything, it does the opposite, because this fight is going to show you why that is just not sustainable long term. Like, this is a one-time deal. All Might probably burned a bunch of bridges just getting this suit. He only was able to get it because he's All Might. And yeah, it's like, look, I said this before, but there's a reason that gadgets and support tech in MHA effing sucks compared to other series, or even compared to Marvel and DC, because people approach this with kind of the knowledge from Marvel and DC that if you have the technology and resources, you're capable of anything. In MHA, that's not really the case, because the support tech is more like our technology, where yes, it's very formidable, but it still is gonna break. It's gonna break from overuse. Whereas, you know, like even comparing this to like Tony Stark, his suits are way more durable than anything we've ever seen in MHA. Like even Deku's like full gauntlets or whatever from the movie, that could only take like 3 hits from One for All 100%, and that was before he unlocked his other quirks. So it just gives you some idea that, like, yes, support items do help, and right here, All Might is probably going to be kicking a fair amount of ass. Being a hero as an actual job, there are 2 definitions to being a hero that we've seen in this series. There's being a hero as a job, and then there's being an actual hero, like as a hero, as a person. But this is going to show you, while yes, you can be a hero as an individual person, that doesn't mean you can take on the job. And this fight is going to show us why, because just look at all the stuff All Might has to do just to be able to get to this point, right? Like, probably calling a bunch of favors, has to get a super advanced Iron Man suit that costs billions and billions of yen at the very least, if not 100 billion. It's a drastic situation. So that's why being quirkless just is not possible. It's not sustainable. It's like, yes, you can have a super cool suit, but that thing is gonna break and wear down over time. Like, even against regular everyday street villains, probably like you'd have like a month or two of use out of it and then busted, and then you're 100 billion yen in the hole. And that's the reason why it's so difficult. But anyway, another thing I want to talk about, All for One. Now, All for One we've seen throughout this entire series places so much importance on quirks, but as we've learned more and more, he not only places importance on quirks, he thinks that quirks are superior to individual lives and people. And this even extends to himself because he's okay with Shigaraki taking over so long as he has the All for One quirk. Like that's kind of the sense I get. And Aniki's talked about this before. We've talked about this in various streams. He is okay with being absorbed or turning into something else, turning into another person, because he doesn't really value himself as an individual. And I saw the leaks for this chapter because they were unavoidable and they were hype.
Bro, I did log off all social media. I said, y'all got it. I ain't.
By the way, do y'all want my trick for not getting spoiled on MHA besides my spoiler shield?
Yeah.
I have purposely set my Twitter algorithm to prioritize One Piece. So I interact with a bunch of One Piece stuff. So I don't ever avoid One Piece spoilers. I purposely engage with One Piece spoilers so that the One Piece manga is more prevalent on my timeline than my hero stuff. And that's how I don't get spoiled.
You know what?
Oh man.
That's the trick. Because I'm gonna be honest, like I still keep up with One Piece. It's one of those series I don't really care about spoilers. Like it's just it kind of feels like it's impossible to get spoiled on, except for like the actual secret of the One Piece. That's literally the only thing. And even that, I'm starting to understand what I think the One Piece is. But anyways, getting back.
Yeah, just mess with your algorithm a bit. Just start engaging with spoilers from one or two other series. And you'll be okay. It'll shift the priorities.
Well, I'd shift it to JJK spoilers, but I'm afraid that series is going to be over in like 2 months.
I was about to say, you've been fucking with the JJK spoilers. I see you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I use those too.
Okay.
Some people
Gege is going for the any percent world record speed run the way he's going.
Yeah. Like, look, people might think I don't like JJK. I really like JJK. All right, it's just I'm not gonna sit here and just be like and just kind of blindly praise him when I think he does have a lot of he has had a lot of problems. And even this chapter, after like kind of the initial hype of
the event, let's just call it that.
The event. Even like after that initially slowed down, I'm starting to see reactions from people be like, "Wait, that was it?" I'm like,
"Yes,
that's all you're getting from Gege, man."
That's
all you're getting.
Listen, all I know is that people said the same thing about MHA and us for the longest.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, well, I guess it's happening to everybody now. That's it.
The funniest thing though is like I saw like this became a whole thing with Gojo versus Dabi, and
Gojo X Dabi too.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh my god, Relo caused a whole like storm of that.
He created a ship. Like he actually created a ship.
I love that.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm really confused right now.
Hey, Ponzi.
Hey guys, what's up?
Sorry, we got on the topic of manipulating algorithms and stuff.
Well, I was there for a while right now because I just arrived at home, so I was already connected to the stream, and I was just listening to what you were saying there, and I muted myself. But yeah. You think about the algorithm making more One Piece spoilers available on your timeline. That's a good idea, because literally for the moment, I think that I did this intentionally. I mean, not intentionally, like without intentions, because right now I get more spoilers of One Piece than My Hero Academia. So I'm in my timeline, because I got to say the One Piece community is so I will say hilarious.
Agenda piece.
Yeah, the agenda. Yeah, the agenda piece. I always find something.
They're not
just
called
to make
Oda's
my,
angels for nothing.
yeah, it's always I always find something to make me laugh in the day. If I'm really bored or if I'm just sad, I just go on Twitter, see some One Piece community stuff, and I always find a way to laugh to laugh. So that's really something that helps me sometimes. But My Hero Academia, it's always the last chapter that I'm reading. So when I'm reading,
Gina.
yeah, that's the thing that I always do because so I I know before I come up to the stream when I'm not on time, I'm just I just have read I have read everything before I get texted from other stories. Just want to be in the MHA mode. Because this chapter was, like you said, it was dense as hell. This chapter, like, so many texts. I was thinking to myself, "Yeah, man, Horikoshi really tried to put all his heart into it." But I got to say that end though, the Iron Might stuff. Oh man, that was so good. I am here, and the last panel, the face of All For One.
He's pissed.
I don't know. It's not pissed. It's just happy. He's happy. That man.
He's angry
We're
and
all
he's
happy.
happy.
Yeah.
When he was
He's
telling Deku, he's like, "Oh, I moved on from All For One. That oath doesn't interest me anymore." He
Now
was
is interesting.
lying.
Okay, you know what? I got a question for you guys. Do we think All For One was lying to Deku or lying to himself?
Lying to
Yes.
himself.
Neither.
He was lying to
himself.
himself more than anything.
Yes.
Neither.
Because
I think this is the because he's rewinding, I think it's the whole youthful passion thing, which is, I mean, yeah, Horikoshi explicitly said that. But also, yeah, maybe he is lying to himself.
I also think, like,
not
you know
only
That's not
how
the face you
you know
make
how
when someone you don't care about shows up.
you know how
Yeah.
you try to lie to yourself about not liking someone, and you're like, I don't like them anymore, and but then
Yeah,
you
it's
see
that.
them again, and
Yes.
everything comes back. I feel like it's awful, awful.
Yeah,
Right
Yeah.
now.
The one
you
true
have
care.
not only you have
My
not only
opinion.
this.
Oh, sorry.
You have not only thanks. You have not only this, but you have also the fact that All For One, said literally confessed to All Might, I have nightmares of you, seeing you beating my head into a pulp. I have nightmare of you doing it with your guts out. If you have nightmares of a
intimate.
guy,
Yeah.
if you have freaking nightmares of a guy, you think that you see him back,
Yeah.
and you have all
I
the
think-
might of the world. What you want to hit him?
Yeah.
A night to
I-
remember.
what Horikoshi places a lot of emphasis on is combinations of circumstances and factors. And I think that's coming into play very strongly here, where it is a combination of things. It is All For One's own lingering hatred for All Might. It's the fact that he's becoming younger that's making it come to the surface. And also, this chapter, All Might speculated, and I think he's right, that Shigaraki is now the one impacting All For One, right? And remember, I theorized this last week. I think Shigaraki is kind of beckoning All For One to him so he can take his All For One copy and be even stronger for fighting Deku. In this chapter, though, I want to focus on. I started thinking about something when I saw
Volk,
Leap.
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I have to leave soon probably, and I don't know if I'll be
Oh.
back. So I just
Okay.
wanted to get in a few things. Well, not really a few things, because quite frankly, I'm only of one mind right now, and it's just how hyped this chapter is. Like, I'm trying to be analytical and everything, but I can't. So, I'm just gonna say that this was an amazing chapter, and I'm sorry that I didn't get to say more than that, but this is really hype, and I thanks for leaving the invite to me open as always. It is probably for the best that I wasn't here last week, because that was rough, and yeah. Anyways, thanks guys, and have a great one. God bless. Love you all.
Of course. Bye, Seth.
See you, Seth.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
Seth.
All right, Volk, you want to pick up where you left off?
Yeah. So I started thinking about something. All For One has faith just in quirks entirely, not people, and that even extends to himself. I started wondering, with how much he hates All Might, and he was starting his plan when All Might had the quirk, right? Like he was he was raising Shigaraki with the intention of being an anti-All Might and intending to put him against him, and then their fight happened and it passed on to Deku. Yada yada yada. But I started thinking, maybe All for One really could have stolen One for All because of the hatred he has for All Might in the aftermath, if he actually had any faith in himself. I think that's kind of what it comes down to, because All for One, in a strange way, has the least amount of faith in himself than anybody else does, because he's allowed his quirk to just dictate his entire being, and it's consumed him entirely. And so maybe if he actually tried, that's kind of the sense I get, like, because when Daigoro and N were talking, like, he said, like, oh, he tried to steal it from us twice. And looking back on it, that's a little weird. He only tried twice before giving up. That kind of says something, because, Hikage was the fourth user. He was out of commission. He wasn't there. User 2 and 3, I think All for One was kind of more invested in like a personal vendetta. He went for killing them instead.
Wasn't there a flashback where it looked like he tried to steal it from the second user, but he was already passed on?
No, he was just it wasn't really stealing it. He was like, I think he was trying to kill him first and foremost. Or well, it's a little ambiguous, like what exactly the context is. Like they had some sort of fight, but people are wondering, did Yuichi die in that moment, or was All for One crying because the quirk was passed on, he couldn't steal it? There's a lot of ambiguous things about it, but like, I am sort of thinking that like maybe All for One could have stolen One for All with the hatred he has for All Might, if he did actually try. That is
Also,
kind of
if All Might wasn't capable of beating his ass.
True. And that kind of goes into the lack of faith, right? Like, because he doesn't train, he just thinks having a bunch of quirks is good enough. And I think more than being lazy, that comes from a lack of belief in his own capabilities as an individual. Whereas all the people he's fighting have really developed as people and as characters. Bakugo, which has some of the most character development in the entire series, and he managed to scare him because he was afraid of getting hurt.
If you think about it, that makes a ton of sense, though, because All for One, why does All for One want to be the Demon Lord? Why does he want to be this abstract thing, this other villain from a manga? He's basically LARPing, right? But then let's take this a step further. Why does he go by his quirk's name instead of his own name? The basis for all of this, we didn't think about it when he said, oh, Tomura's disposition isn't compatible with your quirk, but now he's saying that, oh, well, I always plan to take over the body. So I've looked at this as like a retcon, but we can look at this as like almost an examination of a very important like psychology factor, which is that people with low self-esteem and high self-esteem actually have a lot of the same behavioral patterns, because their conclusion of I matter the most in the world and I don't matter at all leads to them coming to the same conclusions of I can say whatever I want because I'm the most important and my opinion is super valuable, and I can say whatever I want because I don't matter and you don't care anyway. So if it hurts your feelings, that's not likely because you don't care. If it hurts your feelings, it's okay, I'm justified. So they end up doing a lot of the same stuff because they just expect things to, like when people, for example, somebody with high self-esteem might treat their partners terribly because they believe that their partners are beneath them and it doesn't matter if they leave. Whereas somebody with low self-esteem could treat their partner in the exact same way, but they'd be doing it because their partner's going to leave anyway. So it doesn't matter if I put on my best efforts or not. So I might as well just do whatever, and whatever happens because they're never going to stay anyway. So this whole time, All for One has been displaying massive traits of narcissism. But if we look at that as a mask, everything makes a lot more sense now. Because he doesn't train. Why? Because he doesn't believe in himself. He doesn't want quirks that require him to train because he doesn't believe he's capable of mastering them to the same degree that other people have mastered them. he tells people, oh, like it doesn't matter. He wasn't willing to try to take the quirk from All Might because he thought All Might was stronger than him and would ultimately beat him. He consistently, like, to a certain degree, All For One has undercut himself at every turn. Even the fact that he feels so determined to get one for all is him not seeing his own capabilities as enough and feeling like he needs his brother. He is somehow attached to and codependent in that relationship on having his brother around. Even when his brother rejected him, he just went, no matter what happens, I'll have you near me, even if that means locking you away.
The best part about that too is you kind of see that when Shigaraki first awakens, like one of the first things that All For One Vestige does is be like, where's my brother? Where's One For All? Like it's that hyper fixation on all that.
And so all that to say is that All For One, because we kind of joked on him about being a fraud on the stream before, but the thing is that I think we've cracked All For One's character, and it's that he believes he is a fraud. Every buff, every power up, every bit of strength he has is somebody else's power. Nothing is actually his own. And even his empires are built upon the backs of other people. So when you look at it that way, like the Nomu, technically he can make those, sure. And if you think about it, the attack that All For One used to put down Makia was way more deadly than the attack that he used to put down Mount Lady. You could argue it's because Makia is more durable, but I think it goes deeper than that, which is that even though he doesn't like to admit it, All For One has suppressed his emotions, his insecurity, his self-doubt, his self-loathing, all those things. Because if you remember, he even says like, "Oh, how could I, someone as great as me, have nightmares? Is it possible that I could feel guilt?" Well, the answer seems to be yes. All For One has tried his hardest to suppress his humanity because in order for him to utilize his quirk and express himself or do anything involving his quirk, it requires him to be inhumane. His entire existence is a big bottle of copium, 2 pills a day.
Yeah. And Terrence Bernard in the chat, he has a super chat, and I think he puts it quite nicely. Yep. It was always under the surface, handed you the fattest L in your life, turned your head into prunes, took shine you always wanted, and kids' impulse control. Best believe he wants to run the ones.
Bro, word to my mother. Shout out to Tarnish. That nigga know he want to smoke, bro. Stop the cap, bro. It's like, why are you lying, blood? What's your problem, bro? Why are you lying? You're not fooling nobody, nigga. Bro, nigga, everybody right now listening, right? Do you know what you're doing? You have ears you're hearing through. You have eyes, you're looking at something. And you have sound, like you have all these senses and tastes. If a nigga knock that shit off your fucking brain and you can't see, he has no eyes, bro. He don't have sockets. It's not like there's a hole or an eye patch that like some Nick Fury shit or something. Ain't nothing there, bro. Nigga ain't got ears. Whole face like a fucking nutsack. I look down when I'm using the bathroom. I'm like, damn, All For One, is that you? Like, bro, mad ugly. You ain't got no face, no eyes, no ears. You out here like a scrotum. You got to use sensory quirks just to hear and move through the world. Boy, you a damn lie if you telling me and you want a fucking respirator too. You a damn lie talking about I'm over that nigga. You ain't over shit, nigga. He was still moving around till he beat your ass. Ugly ass nigga. Cap it through his teeth, bro. All I hear from him is cap. I'm over that oath. Boy, stop the cap. Lying ass nigga. You mad. He gonna start talking shit when he pull up. Watch. Oh, nuts that face ass nigga, bro.
Also, so let me point it out. The only reason he's even alive right now is because of Fujiko. He's been killed twice over. It's worth noting that the best relationship that All For One has is one in which somebody has their head shoved completely up their ass. So far up his ass that you can kind of see like Ujiko's mustache when All For One talks.
Damn, bro, his nose is a bit brown.
Because, like, think about this for a second. we've seen like what even with Shigaraki, right? Like Shigaraki still calls him master, but he like lashes out. He's a bit more spiteful. It's like he was trying to build that relationship, trying to get somebody who looked like his brother to like love him and look up to him and worship him the same way Ujiko does. Because like Ujiko was like, oh, I'm in prison. It doesn't matter. I left this thing here for you. I set a backup mask. And he's like, let your heart be filled with hatred. It's like Ujiko is aware that he suppressed some of his feelings. He's like, no, let it all free. Be the person I believe in. Is basically like what that was. Like he got a pep talk from Ujiko. Niggas who have like all the confidence that All For One pretends he has don't need pep talks from their subordinates.
Ujiko know the real him.
No God.
Shigaraki is All For One is basically a narcissistic parent, and narcissistic parents try to mold their children into ideal versions of themselves. And All For One has pretty much succeeded because Shigaraki is like, he's literally said he wants to be Shigaraki. Like Shigaraki is his ideal villain, and he ironically has succeeded in constructing that, you know?
Yeah.
And the other half of this chapter, Dabi.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So, Thomas, didn't you ask me something earlier? I had to have Tarnish explain his thing with the Dabi shit. Is my Irish Prince here?
Wait, what did I do?
Remember, I think you asked me a question about Dabi because I hadn't been here, so I asked niggas what they wanted.
Oh,
to ask
no. I asked, how was your day?
Okay, I told you that. Who the fuck asked me about Dabi?
But like my question about Dabi was like, because Hori is like the panels we see of Dabi in this chapter is him taking a bow. So do you feel like the chapter when we do see it will be called Dabi's Last Dance?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So
he's so dead, man.
Yeah, so basically that
and
nigga,
he probably got info from Skeptic on where his family was, so he can just take them all out in one fell swoop. Like, geez. And like, here's the brilliant thing, because he wanted to take Shota with him, but even if he doesn't have Shota with him, because he hates him so much, like he's gonna leave Shota without a family as like a lasting FU, and that's just evil.
Yeah, bro, there's too much hatred with that nigga. He's taking something.
Look,
he's taking something with him.
Dabi is certified player hater of the year.
Oh, I said this the other day. Even with the event in JJK, there's a reason Dabi's hating outtrending an election. There's a reason that happened.
Bro, listen, that nigga taking something when like, so as we talked about before, everybody here earlier that heard like the Tarnish, like the Toga thing, like we were talking about, right? With this, even if Shoto does like get his like a little bit of shine, like, you know, he managed to contain somewhat of it. He's not stopping that entire like supernova that's finna implode. He's not stopping that shit. Like, that shit's happening. There's no ifs, ands, or buts or question about it. Who it takes with it, where it happens, etc., that gets a little bit more grayer. End of the day, he taking something with him, and that shit is not being stopped. They might contain it to an extent, but just because you contain some damage don't mean the damage did happen. Maki got slumped, but that don't mean
I can see
take out like 100 cities with him.
Yeah, I can see Shoto having to encase his dad and Dabi in his ice and contain the explosion. I can see that happening.
But the thing about Dabi's like suicide attempt is that, do you think it is about his quirk, or do you think that he really has one in him? Because last time, if you remember well, after that he lost to his brother, we saw some light coming out his chest. Do you think it was because of the All For Might, All For One with Ujiko? Because they literally rebuilt his body. So what do you think about that right now? Because I have LA.
My personal stance is that we always see the fire like pop up on somebody's body, but we know that there has to be a source to the fire, right? It's not just like popping up off their sweat or whatever. So what we're really seeing here is like this is like the peak version of Flash Fire, where you build it up, you build it up inside to such a degree that eventually it cannot be contained, and it like cooks him from the inside. So it's kind of like he's about to a certain degree, like he's not turning into a complete nuke, but he's basically gonna hyper cook all the like moisture and all that other stuff in the area, which is going to lead to rapid expansion, which is going to cause the explosion. Basically, he's doing Shoto's flash freeze heat wave on a way bigger scale.
You read the super chats.
Oh,
we got two of them.
oh, and Terrence Bernard, so Shoto's here, just saved the last dance. And Terrence got the I mean, Volk read the other one first, so unless I'm missing another one, let me refresh real quick.
What has my seal of approval?
Oh, I was talking about the super chat you read earlier.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I got about like 10 minutes left. So anybody want to ask in the chat or anything, go ahead, because I can't promise I'll be here next week. Well, man, won't be.
Oh, no.
I can't.
Yeah, there's not a chapter next week. It's Golden Week
break, so I can't promise nothing. So, you niggas got anything in chat you want to ask me or in here? Go ahead. I got 10 minutes left on the clock.
Actually, I feel like we covered a lot of stuff, despite how hype and how many people were here this week. We got through a lot.
I know, right?
In fact, if you want, we can start doing around the horn, unless anybody's got something that they really want an extensive discussion on.
Drop that damn video.
Well, basically, it's getting folded into this week's chapter review now. So, what you need is a chapter review with a bunch of extra information on.
Then drop that damn review. Drop something.
I got you.
We're still starving for anarchy content. Just Sunday isn't enough.
Do
it more.
If you don't, your daughter gonna shit on you.
You need more of the healthy stuff.
Hey, look. So, fun fact: she has pooped on parents, but more specifically, she's pooped on parent. She has shit on mommy like 6-7 times now.
Your turn will be next.
Well, next
Yeah.
is your turn.
Next is your turn. Yeah.
You see, I'm beheld. Since that's my niece, I'm beheld to different information. You see, she's a daddy's girl. She likes shitting on mommy because mommy kind of crazy. She be causing daddy headaches. So she was like, you know what? I got you. I got you, dad.
Now, East, when she pulls up on your house like John Wick, be careful.
Oh man.
Listen, if she pulls up on John Wick, listen, I know what I'm saying. I'm the Continental. I'm Sharon.
She promised to beat up East like a year ago. It's fine. She's just making sure that if he ever does get jumped by her, it's earned. All right, let's start with
Dabi Phoenixes. Literally, people with the Phoenix theory about the Dabi.
The Phoenix Flame theory for Dabi is one of those things that I'm like, is it possible? Sure.
Do we need this? No.
Do I think it really lines up with what we've been given, specifically since we got that flashback to Dabi at the All for One compound? No. That's the big thing for me, is that like that would have been the perfect chance for him to kind of come back mostly healed, and we kind of were told the opposite of like we don't even understand how this dude's alive.
I think technically, if you look at it, that was the Phoenix thing, because as I said, technically Dabi, so Toyo's dead, Dabi was reborn type beat. So in a sense, that kind of was the Phoenix thing, because as that motherfucker died, the other one came back type beat.
Yeah. All right, so let's go around that horn real quick. I'm gonna start with Bonzu. Final thoughts for the chapter this week?
Final thoughts of the chapter was great. Nothing to say about it. 8 on 10. Great character development. We get to see the evolution of our why I can't remember the name on the right time. The half code, half hot
Shoto
jerk, and the two eyes guy. But yeah, really literally All Might strength. I thought to myself, we won't see him a lot anymore, but still, Horikoshi find a way to make him look good, putting back on the pedestal of characters of My Hero Academia, and it's freaking great. That last scene shows how much when you develop well your characters and their history, you can always use that again in your story, even a little bit. Just the scene is magnificent, and the fact that we saw the armor a few chapters ago, like a lot of chapters ago, and we never saw it again. Just to see it right now, it's freaking greatness. So yeah, can't wait to see what's happening next. We won't have a chapter next week, but yeah, I can't wait to see or watch how Rikoshi is cooking till the end of this year. This is it for me. Ciao, guys.
Walkins?
Oh boy, I'm glad we have Golden Week next week because the Jump's been on fire this week. No wonder things like MHA and One Piece and no wonder we've been like getting good stuff the past few weeks. But whatever. This is MHA talk. I'm actually still surprised, but I'm also not surprised that people have this issue with All Might getting into action. Because on one hand, I want to just call them all stupid for being like, hey, All Might shouldn't be doing that. But then at the same time, these are the same people that are illiterate. So I'm just go ahead, have your criticism of that, what you will. But man, what a fire chapter. We get the stuff with Ida and Shoto going to save Shoto's family. And also just another thing too to point out with like the whole idea of like All Might's back here and like All Might's character and all that. We do get a panel of Stain who holds All Might to this highest pedestal. So just every little aspect of this chapter just speaks to All Might's character so well, even through Shoto and Ida. Because right now, Hero's down bad right now. Like and not in the other way of down bad. They are like on the verge of just giving up. Like Sukauchi even. Like he's supposed to be leading this whole thing. And you just see like the despair on his face, but no, All Might's still around, and he's gonna do his best to keep All for One back. And I know one criticism that some people have had of, oh well, why should All Might die with all this? Well, yeah, he's retired, but like we saw with the whole Deku Far From Home arc, All Might's presence is enough to get some villains, some bad people, like to get them to back off. So just his overall presence and the fact that he's still around is the biggest issue. Like, yeah, he's retired, but he can still invoke hope in people like he did with Shoto and Ida there. He can still like sacrifice himself, which is what he's about to do against All for One. If that face of All for One's anything to go by, this plan is going to work for All Might to at least hold him back for a bit. I don't know, like the places are all there. The stage is set. I'm here. I'm all here for it. Just jump on the ride until the end, because my God, Horikoshi, you got it. You're on the right path. I'm just waiting for the landing to stick. And I think, again, I have hope for this. I have hope for MHA to go down as an all-time great. I'm just, there were some missteps that you've had, especially in recent times. But you know what? You're moving towards the end. We'll see how everything lands. But this chapter was fan-freaking-tastic. I am excited for the next one, and I can't wait to talk about it with everybody.
All right. Tarnish, you still here? Oh,
I am.
okay.
He is here.
Final thoughts, Tarnish?
Final thoughts. This chapter was pretty good. That double spread at the end is just crazy with All for One's face. That's it. That shit gonna be stuck in my mind for a while because what's about to happen next. I really hope we don't cut away. I don't know why I just thought about that. Like he could do that, but this is a little hype. If he cuts away to something, I want it to be a flashback of these guys, if anything. Flashback of All Might or All for One, or a flashback of them fighting. Imagine if he uses this fight as the vehicle to actually give us that flashback that we've all been waiting for. Like, what really went down that day? Like, imagine if All Might is fighting with this suit on and he's like, damn, like, this is good, but the way I was back then, that was something different. And he just starts reminiscing on things he used to do. I feel like that'd be a good way for us to see that fight. But I'm excited for Dabi and the Todoroki resolution coming soon. We just need Shoto to get the Gunga now. Because now he's the only Todoroki not there. Ain't that crazy how shit works out? First, Enji was the only one there. Nobody knew how the Todoroki family, the other ones, were going to get involved. And then now the evacuation blocks brought them there. So now they're at Gunga. Dabi took a portal to Gunga. Shoto's about to get ran to Gunga. Like, we getting the Todorokis the Gunga to settle things. Yeah, I really hope that Horikoshi stays in good health for those chapters because I really want everything to hit. And I need that Toga and Hawks resolution with Ochako mixed in. Like, there's a few things. He doesn't really have to go like super combat heavy on anything. I just need some dialogue and good art. Like, he don't really have to overexert himself. Just give me some good dialogue, some good character moments in these next few chapters before you go back to Deku and Shiggy, maybe. And I'm good. So yeah. Golden Week is crazy, but hopefully we don't get like a sudden break or something after that.
All right, let's see. Thomas, did I have you go?
No, you didn't.
All right, let's hear you from you, Thomas.
This chapter was absolutely amazing. Like, I'm gonna be honest, the chapter moved me more. Well, obviously, I'm a big fan, so biased, but it moved me more than every chapter in Jump this week, especially JJK. But I can always talk about that in the chat itself. I said earlier that this moment doesn't ruin All Might's character. I still stand by that. Like people saying it ruins his character. Kamino, there were points to that. Like, to me personally, his character arc was like one of his biggest moments past Kamino was him trying to adjust to his life without One for All, but because All Might's a true hero, he was never going to do that. No matter the talk with Aizawa, no matter the chat with Stain, he was always going to jump back into action because All for One is in action. That's why following All Might throughout the manga after Kamino was powerful to me. Like, whether you believe or not that like what we got wasn't enough, or if Horikoshi should have added more, you can have that opinion. I personally love what we got. It's what makes this chapter perfect. No matter what, like even Walking's brought up, All Might is a symbol and he's a person who brings hope. He inspires people. That's what makes the speech with Shosho and Ida so like, I would say aside from All Might's like little suit up, that was the best part of the chapter to me. Like, even without One for All and the ability to stand against the villains on an equal playing field, he could still give hope and still be there to help people like Deku, because people wanted Deku to be the one taking down off one, and albeit that would be really cool, I think the final showdown with All Might and All for One, just being those two, is just perfect. The panel of him with Deku and the middle school designs is stunningly beautiful, and it hammers in how special their dynamic and relationship is. Him deciding to just be like Deku and setting up the Prime All Might, basically, not Prime All for One. That one last "I am here," it brought tears to my eyes on League Night. It was a great League Night indeed. So in conclusion, he didn't just say "I am here," he said "I am him." He's a GOAT, and no matter what happens, no matter how Hori handles the end of his character arc, whether he keeps him around or if he kills him off, he's been a fantastic character, and the following him throughout his journey was perfect. So yeah, like the stream. Stay safe, everyone, and that's it.
Volk?
This was a tremendous chapter, stacked with so much not just setup but satisfying character development throughout. And it just didn't stop. It was like, as a chapter set up the stakes, Dabi and All for One, like we have two really bad situations developing here on top of all the other bad situations. And I think it kind of got caught in the shuffle, but I also want to say that, like, Ida and Shoto's little conversation, a moment, and when All Might is talking to them and he's saying how much faith he has in Shoto to stop Dabi, and that he has faith in Ida as well to get him there. That was amazing. And just the whole build up for All Might, to say that this is his fight, like, because really he unwittingly brought the fight to Deku, and it's kind of been with him ever since he learned that All for One was still alive. So regardless of what happens here, this is his absolute final fight for sure. I'm excited to see what the suit ends up looking like next week. I hope we don't cut away. All for One, just consistently, like, even if he's not the deepest as a character, we are still learning more about his own flaws and insecurities that kind of, like, he kind of projects himself as sort of this one-dimensional bad guy, but in the end, he has a lot of flaws and insecurities he doesn't want to admit to, and that makes him a more interesting character. It makes this upcoming battle between them even more important. I just, chapters like this are why you read MHA. It's just, and I really think we are on a great last stretch here, and we probably got like 30 to 40 more left. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to be here every single week, still seeing it. It's going to suck a little bit having to wait past Golden Week, but hope it lets Horikoshi recharge just a little bit so that he can dive back into the insanity. So, great chapter. I don't really have any notes for this week. Loved it. I hope he keeps this up.
All right.
Wait,
Archbishop
Anake.
What's up?
I just want to say something, right? So the artist for Oshinoko is a big My Hero fan, and they said that it has been a godly chapter of My Hero this week. So I just wanted to say that.
Nice. Now, Archbishop East, do your thing.
All right, final. All right, y'all. Just so you know, Trek officially premiered 22 years ago today. All right, y'all. We'll catch y'all next time. No. All right, nah, for real. This was shit was there's nothing else to say that everybody else didn't say. Plenty of fucking theories and different things that come true. All Might, once again, being one of the most pivotal, phenomenal characters in this entire series. I can't wait. I do believe there should be a flashback of some sorts. Shit, they did that. It's like Tony said, it's be a good vehicle because within Sakamoto days, light spoiler, not really spoiler. Well, we currently having our own plasma vessel type, art, so to speak, which, shout out to Studio Mappa being some diabolical ass niggas with that fake ass poster art for fucking making it look like it's good vibes, but I ain't gonna spoil nothing about JJK season 2. But yeah, but it's be a good vehicle into seeing some of the things that happened in the past. It's like literally the perfect example, perfect way to do that and see what it was really like, these two battling. There's no other way to do it than just like this now. Now where this comes in is that where some of us have been talking about is that this is just the fight between these two closing out their thing. But the twist is that when we all know who inevitably, All Might meets his fate too, if you believe he dies, we all know who that would be. And that just falls into the fray that like that those two actually need to meet too, Shigaraki and All Might, and that's going to be something cataclysmic. But this just the conduit to that. But that doesn't mean it can't be one of the greatest moments in the series, because here we are now, hyping the gas and up over. You had to fucking get off Twitter or every social media without getting spoiled because that shit was just so fucking insane. So I can't wait to see what happens from here. As far as Dabi is concerned, that nigga taking something with him. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. that nigga taking something with him, blood. I don't know whatever you believe it to be. That's up to you. But that nigga taking something with him. That is one mean ass, petty ass, hating ass nigga. Something going with his ass, bro. He said, I'm not taking. He said, I'll kill everybody, bro. I don't give a fuck. Indiscriminately. I'm taking everybody and everything with me, man. For real. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely hype once again. Can't wait to see what happens from here, man. It's nice seeing y'all. There's not much to say because everybody else already said it. Shit, we had it was a good stream. Good to be back, bro. Miss y'all, man. All the love. All I got to say is shit. We here to stay. I'm gonna give y'all. We're gonna talk about life though in a second because honestly, just go where the love is. And if somebody being true to you, then fuck them. No matter how much it hurt. Don't waste your time or your energy. Don't need to be wasted. That part. You feel me? But appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Once again, it's always fun to see y'all. I missed y'all too. Much love. The stars, the skies, and the moon. That's all y'all have for me. All right. Once again, we love y'all. Drop some hell horrors in the chat, and we'll catch y'all in a few weeks, man. Shit.
All right, y'all. Appreciate everybody that came through.
Wait, I didn't go.
About
Oh no.
this video.
Joseph.
Not you skipping over Joseph.
And y'all have a great...
Arake.
Wait, what?
Joseph
I didn't go. I didn't go.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Joseph.
Damn, son.
This is what happens when the stream gets big enough. Not everybody's name shows up in the top column.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. This is there's a lot to talk about and think about with this chapter. Like I know a lot of people go into that last double page spread, but that one panel with All Might and Izuku as middle schoolers, that one like really stood out to me for some reason. I don't know. It's kind of surprising like how buff All Might was even as a middle schooler, but yeah, this is
cornbread fat
ass. This has me like the original fight is not something I didn't really know if I wanted to see just because of how hyped up it has been. Like we know so little about it, and I feel like in that cases like that, what people come up with in their head can almost never be matched by what the author decides to finally show. So it's not something that I was looking to see, but if we get it, it'll be exciting to see exactly what happened, and I am just excited to see what happens in the future.
You know what? I'm glad Joseph got skipped over because I was gonna say something I forgot. Word to my mother. Listen, I don't believe in overworking people, slavery, and inhumane conditions. Okay, all right. I don't condone it, but I let it slide. Because man, Mappa, work them niggas like some dogs. Cause Hell Paradise, dog. Oh my God, I didn't see a new episode. Shout out, I know that nigga ought to keep eating. Listen, if them niggas suffering, they'll get to see their families. Too bad, nigga. I'm sorry, I'm eating, bro. I'm sorry. Listen, fuck it. Y'all, listen, your pain is my pleasure, okay? I'm sorry. It is what it is, all right? And before y'all look at me crazy, half of them clothes you wearing right now made by some fucking Chinese kid in a sweatshop. I'm just keeping it a buck with you, so.
Hey, my clothes are made in Malaysia. No.
Another man's pain is another man's pleasure.
All terrible human jokes aside, now, after accidentally skipping past Joseph, I gotta stop accidentally skipping basketball. I do that.
Wait, you skipped me. You skipped me.
Okay, I know for a fact I didn't skip you, Thomas.
You skipped everyone.
I forget something. Hey,
Yeah.
watch Oshinoko. That anime
True.
is too good. That's too good.
True.
Watch Hell Paradise first, though.
Watch.
I should have read it years ago when I told you to.
Listen. If you had put me on the manga's life, a certain website that would have gave me it easier to read, then it'd be a different story. But hey,
man, quit playing with me. All right, that's all we got for today. I'll work on this video. I'm gonna honor my word, and if I don't, my wife is gonna yell at me. So y'all be safe.